What's the point in living a life where you're born and all you do is work a job you hate, pay bills, and then die? I'll say I think there are some people maybe in the world who, like, I know somebody who is very laid back. He has a very, very average job. Very, very average life, but he seems genuinely happy. Like, deep in his heart, he seems happy. And I think for someone like that, maybe that is a good life, a truly good life. If your level of satisfaction is at that point where just a very, very average life truly satisfies you, then I think maybe for someone like that, that is a good life and like you're on the right track. But I would wager that almost all of us are not like that. I think a lot of us try and convince ourselves we are like that, and we're not. The idea of being average just terrifies me so much, dude. Like, the idea of lying on my deathbed and just knowing that I could have achieved so much more and I didn't. I had this kind of awakening recently in the last few months, relating to time. And like, I'm 22. I turned 22 a few months ago, and I wish I had this earlier, but I'm glad I had it now instead of later. Which is just, I don't think we have nearly as much time on this earth as we think we do. Just thinking about how fast the days go, or just think about how fast the weekend comes around. It's just unreal how fast time moves. And I don't know. Like I said, I don't think everybody has this desire, but I think most of us do, and I think we just bury it inside of us. But seriously, dude, like, you gotta look yourself in the mirror and you gotta think, do I want to die having achieved the bare minimum? If you just take the easy road in life, which I think 95% of people do, and just get a job you don't like, work to get enough money just to get by, live for the weekend, you know, indulge in purely instant gratification. You're never working towards something. You never take the time to think about what you really want in life. You just kind of, you know, if you take that easy road, you're just going to be, nobody's going to remember you. That's another thing that gets me, is like, because when I was a kid, I used to have certain thoughts, sounds kind of dark, of existentialism. Like, what's the point in living? Like, what's the point in being alive and then just dying? In the grand scheme of the universe, just your one singular life, what is the point? The only workaround I found for that is, if you achieve something that lives beyond you, that makes you immortal in some senses. I heard this quote once and it said, you die twice. The first time is when you actually die, and the second time is the last time anybody ever mentions your name. For most people, that last time that anybody mentions their name is going to line up pretty closely with your real death, right? Like, you might have some kind of legacy within your family, but for me, that's just not anything. Everybody gets that. That's again, it goes back to this idea of mediocrity. That is mediocrity, right? Everybody gets that. You don't have to be anything special to earn that. Everybody's remembered by their family. What does that mean? But so few are remembered by other people. And that allows you an outreach to impact other people's lives, inspire other people, teach other people long after you're gone. If you can achieve a lasting legacy, you make a mark on the world that lasts forever. And I think that's the only way I could really escape that thought when I was a kid of like, what's the point in being alive? I know it's deep as fuck, but for me, I just feel like you have to go to that point, or else you're just going to be content with being average, and that is just the worst thought I could ever have. Being average. I saw something with David Goggins, and he said, a similar thing. He said that his biggest fear was dying, and then whatever you believe in, whether it's God or whatever, talking to God. And he said he would imagine God putting a piece of paper in front of him, and it would say his name at the top, but below it would have all of these achievements, like, you're going to be a Navy SEAL, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. And he would look at it and he would say to God, it says my name on it, but I didn't do any of these things. And God would say to him, this is what you were supposed to be, but you're never going to be any of it because you didn't try. That should get you. Don't be average. That's all we can do.